I look at the world today and see a quiet unrest consuming millions. They call it depression, and it's more than a word. It's a heavy shadow that settles on the mind and heart. I see young people, adults, even children overtaken by this invisible weight, stealing energy, joy, even the meaning of life. In my youth, I experienced deep sadness, periods of loneliness and uncertainty, and I know the mind can become our greatest prison. But I also learned that the mind, when understood, can be our greatest liberation. Depression shouldn't be seen as weakness, but as a condition requiring understanding, care, and treatment. In my time, many would dismiss it as melancholy or laziness. Today we know it's a profound imbalance in body and mind that needs serious attention, as real as heart disease. Society's approach, however, remains prejudiced, as if feeling inner pain is forbidden. To anyone lost in depression's darkness, you are not alone. Though your mind may insist nothing makes sense, there's always a way out. Life has value, even when your brain insists otherwise. My studies showed me everything in the universe is energy, vibration in constant motion. You are part of this cosmic fabric. Even broken inside, you still pulse with life's energy, and it can be transformed. Modern society wrongly believes only the visible matters, but invisible pain is most destructive. We must talk about it, not hide or be ashamed. Silence is a major enemy of those suffering from depression. So many, fearing judgment, keep their struggles secret. But in isolation, the mind becomes crueler. Sharing, seeking help, honest dialogue, these reveal the first steps to healing. In short, depression is a real, profound human phenomenon that can't be ignored. It demands courage, support, and recognition that your pain doesn't define you. Because even when all seems lost, the flame of life burns within. Thinking about depression, I reflect on how modern society conducts life. The relentless pace, the incessant pursuit of success, the constant comparison, all erode the human mind. I see people trapped in luminous screens, seeking approval in numbers and likes, distancing themselves from the essential, genuine connection with themselves and others. Depression thrives when humans feel disconnected from their essence. Even in my time, I saw the danger of a life driven solely by competition and social pressure. I always believed an individual's worth lies not in what they accumulate, but in their contribution to humanity. Today, many lose themselves in this endless race, comparing themselves to unattainable standards, fueling deep sadness. When the mind believes it will never be enough, a cycle of hopelessness sets in. Science and philosophy must walk hand in hand. Just as we explore the cosmos to understand stars, we need to look within to understand our pain. Depression isn't personal failure, but an expression of imbalance with life. Many seek only medication, others only spirituality. But we need integration, science, medicine, emotional support, spiritual practice, and self-understanding. These can unite to help someone rise again. Depression increases when we forget the beauty of small things: a sunset, nature's sounds, true friendship, calming silence. Healing often begins when we rediscover wonder in simplicity. This isn't empty poetry, it's science too. The brain responds to gratitude, joy, and contemplation, releasing substances that bring balance. The universe responds to the vibrations we emit. Facing depression isn't solely willpower. No one chooses depression, just as no one chooses fever or infection. But we can choose to seek help, open up, take small steps, even when it seems impossible. Sometimes getting out of bed is an act of immense courage. Each act, however small, moves toward the light. Depression doesn't just affect individuals, it silently corrodes collective bonds. Entire families suffer, communities fragment, friendships weaken when a member is engulfed. Often those around don't know how to act, pushing away instead of supporting. This creates more isolation and amplifies the pain. I lived through wars, persecution, and crises that shook humanity. I saw millions lose everything, even hope. Yet I saw something powerful. When humans unite, sharing pain and strength, they find ways to rise. Depression must be faced similarly. Human support is one of the most potent remedies. I don't mean empty phrases like cheer up or it will pass, but true presence, being there, listening without judgment, offering a hand, showing they're not alone. The modern world talks of progress, but forgets true progress isn't just machines, technology, or material gains. Humanity's advancement is measured by its capacity to care for one another. A society that neglects its citizens' mental health is still a sick society. It's pointless to reach the moon if one feels imprisoned within their mind. Depression is a call to humility. It shows that despite scientific knowledge, we still don't fully understand the human mind's complexity. It reminds us we're not machines, but beings of flesh, bone, emotion, and spirit. Ignoring any dimension distances us from healing. The way out isn't fighting darkness alone, but accepting help. When a celestial body dims, the universe seems darker. But when a star shines again, it illuminates itself and the path of many. So it is with each person overcoming depression. They find light and become a light for others still in darkness. Depression also reveals a profound paradox of modern life. We are hyper-connected by machines, yet further apart in essence. Technology brings us to any corner of the planet in seconds, but often distances us from what gives life meaning. Intimate human relationships, sincere gazes, unhurried conversations, shared silence. I see people surrounded by notifications, yet empty of real connections. This void is fertile ground for sadness to become depression. Humans need purpose. Without it, life loses its force. It's like an unsolvable equation. Everything seems meaningless. Many suffering from depression feel this, as if they've lost the guiding thread. The danger lies in believing this purpose must be grand and unattainable when it can be found in small things, learning something new, helping someone, creating something simple that benefits others. Serving and contributing often gives life new meaning. Society overvalues having and forgets being. We're taught happiness is possessing more, money, goods, status. But humans aren't fulfilled by external achievements. Often, the more we conquer, the emptier we feel. Because true peace isn't found externally, depression feeds on this illusion, making people believe they've failed when they don't reach society's definition of success. I've always championed imagination over knowledge. Imagination creates new paths, envisions possibilities, and believes in a different future, even when the present feels suffocating. Those suffering from depression need to rediscover imagination, not as escape, but as a tool to envision a better reality. There's no shame in seeking help. It's an act of courage and humanity. Just as a scientist needs collaboration to validate a theory, humans need support to strengthen their minds and hearts. Depression isn't the end, just a chapter, and each chapter can be rewritten. Reflecting on depression today, I see it as a mirror reflecting something larger, how we're conducting civilization. The relentless rush, the absence of silence, the worship of productivity, all of this has distanced humanity from its equilibrium. The universe operates in cycles, day and night, movement and rest, expansion and contraction. Yet modern society insists on perpetual expansion, constant acceleration, as if rest were a sin. This imbalance exacts a price, and the human mind responds with exhaustion and profound sadness. I'd like to recall something I learned observing the cosmos. Even the brightest star experiences periods of instability. But this doesn't signify the end of its light. Depression can be viewed similarly, not as a final destination, but as a phase to be navigated. Science shows us that the brain is plastic, capable of change, of forging new connections, of adapting. This means no one is condemned forever. The pain is real, but so is the possibility of transformation. If I could advise someone right now, I'd say, don't compare yourself. Don't blame yourself. Don't see yourself as a burden. Life doesn't demand perfection. It only requires that you keep moving forward, even if it's one small step at a time. Don't let inner silence become a prison. Talk, write, seek professional help, allow others to lend a hand. Healing begins in the encounter between souls. And I want to emphasize something even deeper. Every human being possesses immeasurable worth. You are part of a magnificent universe, made of stars, atoms, and energy, but also of consciousness and spirit. Your existence is not an accident. Within you lies a spark of the infinite, and no darkness can extinguish that spark. Even when you can't see it, it remains, waiting to shine again. Therefore, I say, depression is not the end, but an invitation for humanity to re-examine its way of life, reconsider its priorities, and reconnect with what truly matters. And when the darkness seems unbearable, remember that it's in the darkest nights that the stars become visible. You are one of those stars. Never forget that.